What do you want out of your life? Really ask yourself that question. What do you want out of your life? And I feel like you hear a lot of people say this, and you feel a lot of people start out, what do you want out of life? Go get it, go nail it. But I just think I think the reason why that so many people, you could hear people online saying this on their podcasts and on their YouTube channels, is that because everybody has this question. Everybody always has this question. What do I want out of life? What do you want out of life? And just go do it. And now I feel like that's a really good first part, to ask yourself that, because we're all asking ourselves that all the time. We really are all just pondering, what is the meaning of life? What should I do with my life? Blah, 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 blah. And I think that most of us, when we start to get on track, we start to get distracted by things. And now in this day more than ever, is so easy to get distracted. We all have our phones. Literally, I'm just going to say this. I go on my phone to text, or to look at the weather or the time or something, and I'm on my phone for 30 minutes and I don't even remember the initial reason why I started looking at my phone. If I go to look something up, I look the thing that I wanted to look up, and then 30 minutes later I'm scrolling, looking at something else, not even remembering what the original thing I wanted to look at is. And so now we're caught in this cycle of staring at our phones when even if the information that you wanted to look up was important, or you found it was educational, you forget it right away, and then you're on to the next thing. You're looking at somebody's story or somebody's podcast or whatever, all these videos out there. I mean, it's literally, and I've described it this way before, you have to look for what you want on there and then get off. You're navigating through landmines on the internet, just simply meaning your attention is going to get diverted, and you're going to be distracted for like an hour, and you really just meant to be on your phone for maybe 30 seconds tops. So I think this device in our pocket is sincerely, while it is very good and we could learn from it, and there's a lot of positives to the technology, our phones, the internet, all that stuff, I think that we have to be very careful how we use it, and we have to navigate it in a very intentional way, because, like I said, it's a landmine on there. You go on there to look up a recipe for gargonzola pasta, and then you're ended up watching a dude put socks on, videos of dudes put socks on, and that wasn't my joke. That was my fiance's joke. So shout out to her. But it's true. Like, you just end up on these weird rabbit holes of videos and the internet, and your mind. It's pretty much just your conscious being assaulted and going down these rabbit holes. So when I say, what do you want to do out of your life, right? That goes with this, because what do you want to do out of your life? So you ask yourself that question. Then you get on your trajectory of doing that thing, or you start to, like, say you just do, example, I want to read books. I want to read more books. So you're going to read more books. So you start reading your book. You're done reading it for the day. You put it down for a second. You check your phone, because in all honesty, it's just a reflex now at this point. It's just a habit to pick up your phone and look at it, open it, whatever, to whatever app. And so then you pick it up, and then you're on it for 30 minutes, an hour, 2 hours, and then your attention, I believe, is being diverted. And now you don't have the capacity to go back to your book, because your mind is just like, you've just filled it essentially with trash, with junk food, and now you don't want to eat your vegetables, which is, i.e., your book, which is something you wanted to do. So now you have this thing that you want to do, reading more, but then you get distracted so easily, and then you get thrown off of this trajectory of reading more books. And that's just a very simple example. If you want to do anything, if you want to write a book, I was reading a book. If you want to write a book, I'm going to sit down and write. So you sit down and you write a few pages. It gets hard, because things get hard. And then you pick up your phone and you say, oh, you know what? Actually, I'm actually going to use it to look something up. So you look up something on your phone, and you're on your phone for 6 hours. And you know why? You know why you're on your phone for 6 hours? Yes, it's distracting, but it's so painful to sit down and be with yourself. And especially if you want to do something like writing, reading, anything that's a little bit boring, you have to, it's stressful, and your mind starts to wander. It's like your body's detoxing. Your mind is detoxing from your technology, from your phone. And you want to hit that. You want that dopamine hit. You want that drug hit. So you pick it up and you scroll for an hour and a half. So it makes sense. But in that, you are never going to sit down and do the things that you want. You're never going to do what you want to do out of life. And now that's just one aspect of it. That's one aspect of, I think, the problem when we ask ourselves, what do we want to do out of life? Typically, we know it's going to be very hard. We know it's going to take work. We know it's going to be, there's going to be a lot of turmoil in this day and age, in inner turmoil. So after we think about what we want to do, what do we want out of life, we go to our distractions. Okay. So, but that's just one aspect. Now that's one aspect. Let's go to another aspect, which I think it could be worse, is that we don't, when we get distracted, that was like a distraction of just like mindless scrolling. But this is a distraction of comparison and of wanting to do what other people want us to do. So if you want to take this, for instance, I can only speak for myself, and I only know myself and my own story the best. So in transparency, I do this podcast, right? So I want to do a podcast, right? But there's so many podcasts out there already. So what do? I go and I see, oh, well, people that do podcasts do it in this way, do it in this format, set it up this way, do it in this format. They say X, Y, and Z, and they're fans, and they have fans, and their fans love them. So then what do? I try to replicate that, right? But then I'm not being true to myself, right? Because I want people to like me right away, and I want people to follow me and be like, yo, you have a great podcast. So what I'll do is I'll do all of this stuff that I see. I try to replicate all this stuff that I see working, and I won't be a true to myself. So what does that mean? So when I ask myself, me, Michael, what do you want to, you like to do this podcast, right? You like to do a podcast. I love to do this podcast. Why? I don't know. I just love to do it. And that's a good enough answer. By the way, when you ask yourself, what do you want out of life and what do you want to do with your life? Just answer it completely honest, and then don't judge yourself. Don't ask why. Don't say that's stupid, this or that. Just do it. It doesn't matter. There's so much out there in this world that people stop themselves because they think it's stupid. Just do it. It doesn't matter. So I say, what do I want to do? I want to do a podcast. Okay, so how do I want it to be? Well, honestly, if I'm going to be honest with you, I just love doing it in this format. I have a microphone in front of me, and I'm recording on my device. This is for me, a positive use of the device, and that's it. I'm not setting up cameras. I'm not saying anything like new, nothing relevant in the news, what everybody's talking about. I'm not hitting these keywords to get people to like it. This was a big thing too with this podcast. I was thinking, it's still the early stages, but I was like, oh, should I do social media? I'm not even putting this on Instagram now, because I don't want, and I know myself, I might get addicted to the numbers of Instagram and trying to build it that way. So I don't want to really want to work on that. I don't want to work on building a brand, because to me that brings the fun out of podcasting. I just enjoy the pure podcasting. And then you could say, yeah, but if you want, you have to work hard. No, working hard is something completely different than branding yourself and putting things out there. So what I want to do with this podcast, and you could use this podcast for anything you want to do, I'm going to do this on my terms, meaning I'm going to record it like this, put it up to the devices, whether I get 1 listen or 1,000,000 listens, it doesn't matter, because I'm doing it my way. And if it's going to grow, it's going to grow in my way. And I'm doing this for myself and for whoever listens out there. I love everybody, and whoever's listening and not listening also. But I do this for whoever wants to hear it. And so now that's what I'm left with. Okay, I have something I want to do, and I have the terms that I want to do it in, because guess what? I know myself. If I'm forced to do things, if I'm forced to even do this, like this is something that I want to do, but I have to force myself to sit down and start recording. If I have to force myself to do this, I have to force myself to do it at least in the way that I want to do it. And this is the way that I want to do it. Because once you start forcing yourself, and I know myself, if I'm going to, I have to set up cameras and I have to put this on and I have to do this and I have to do X, Y, and Z and make it a whole production, a big production, then I know that I'm going to end up resenting the process and in turn resenting this podcast. And that's something that I don't want to do, because I actually enjoy sitting in front of a mic and talking. And now another thing is that it's like a throwback. Honestly, I love the fact, this is just still about the podcast, I love the fact that it's like a radio show. You just sit here and you just listen, because there's no flashy cuts or anything like that. It's just a guy talking, and I was actually, one of my favorite guys to listen to is Art Bell, and he had just this crazy radio show. I advise everybody to listen to it because it's great. And this was before aliens and all the paranormal stuff was mainstream. He would have a radio show and talk to all of these UFO sighting people, all of these disclosure people, time travelers, werewolves, everybody. And he would talk to all these people, and it was a radio show, and it would just be him talking in the desert, because that's where he lived, in the New Mexico, I believe. And so this is a throwback to that, For me personally, I'm just getting sick and tired of looking at people's faces on YouTube and online. And nothing against, people are beautiful out there, but it's just like everybody is just producing like the shit out of everything that they do, and it's like it seems a bit dishonest, and that's okay. And I'm not saying that people are being dishonest, but I think, once again, to go to my original thing, what do you want to do out of life, or what do you want out of life, what do you want to get out of life, is I think people are just replicating what they see out there, and for the lack of being original and originality. So I would just say, do what you want to do out of life, and figure out which way you want to do it, and don't worry about if people like it or don't like it, or if it's silly or not silly. You want to do something, you have a vision, you have a goal, just do it. And it doesn't matter how many people support you or don't support you. Just do it and stay on your life journey, and be true to yourself. And that's really what it comes down to. When you pick anything to do in life, you have to just be true to yourself. And then the moment you try to please others, i.e. doing things the way other people are doing them, or saying things what other people are saying, then I feel like you're going to lose harmony inside of yourself, lose balance inside of yourself. And it's going to be I just would believe it leads to a lot of heartache for you, and inner turmoil. So that's my TED Talk on that. And, just be yourself, like I said. So this is my transitional period of so that was, that is what I wanted to talk about, honestly, today. And I'm always going to be an advocate for people just to do things originally, so just do, write your story. So whatever that means. So what I want to say, obviously this is called Millennial Rolodex. So today I just wanted to say a little bit of that, and then some of my Millennial Rolodex music that I wanted to share with you. So this is the stuff that's been on my playlist recently, and just the stuff that I've been listening to, or songs that I've heard recently that are on playlist, Spotify, and that I just got like, oh yeah, these are the classics. These are the stuff I grew up listening to. And then I have a few things that I've heard recently that are newer, that I think people should check out. Especially, it actually gives me hope hearing some of these new guys, because it kind of is a throwback to the 90s and 2000, or like when music was music. And don't get me started, because once again, I'll be an old guy yelling at the clouds, but the sky. But there's a lot of people, there's a lot of young music out there that does not sound like music. So I'm going to do my little couple of songs that I've been listening to. So I'm going to actually start out with this song. And now this podcast is called the Millennial Rolodex. So this is a heavily millennial thought process, because I am a millennial. This song right here that I'm about to say is the anthem. If you play this song, millennials will come out of the woodworks. Like whoever, it's like a bomb for millennials. You throw the song out, you start playing the song, and then millennials will just come from all different directions and start singing the song. It will be a party, I promise you this. And that is Blink-182's All the Small Things. This is probably the anthem. I don't know why. In my opinion, this is the song that every time I hear it, I'm just like, yes, this is, it just brings you back to that time growing up in junior high school. You know, this is just the anthem. So anytime you want to understand a millennial or have a millennial come out of nowhere, if you guys saw Weapons, the movie, which I recommend, it was really good, it came out this year, they'll come out like one of those possessed people with their arms out and Naruto running right at you, so be careful. So that's Blink-182, All the Small Things. The other two songs I've been listening to of them that I really enjoy are First Date, that's the second song, and the third song is Damn It. Their videos are also so good. Their videos have so much energy to them that they don't like make music videos like this anymore either. It's so funny. And actually, no, I shouldn't say that. I'm going to recommend a group right after these that I really like that actually does remind me of them. So First Date, Damn It, the next two songs from Blink-182, they literally, like, they're just so performative, they're goofy, they're characters, they're themselves. And something that when I was watching, because I go on a rampage, I talk shit, but you see, I do it too myself, and I just like look at things that I like on YouTube, and sometimes for hours. So I'm a walking contradiction, guys, too. But I'll go down like a rabbit hole of watching old music videos, and the characters that they create, these guys in these bands, and the storylines, it's just crazy manic energy, ridiculously goofy performances by these singers, you know, by these musicians, and they're just characters. They're real characters, you know. Our generation, and play any of really all the small things, but any of these songs, and we'll start running at you. But Naruto style. But yeah, they're just and the music video is so much energy and so much real, just artistry went into these videos. So another song is The Far Side, is Passing Me By, and not much to say about this song. I actually don't know The Far Side that much. I know like a lot of their songs when they start playing, but I don't know. I wasn't a huge fan of them overall, but Passing Me By, The Far Side, Passing Me By, listen to this song and you'll just feel like good old 90s hip hop crazy. And I heard an interview with the guys recently from Far Side, and they were saying that this song kind of put them on the map. Like they were a little indie, like weird group. And after this song came out, this kind of blew them up. So listen to this and then probably go down the rabbit hole of The Far Side, because Passing Me By, that song is one of the best songs of that generation, and something I've been obsessed with. Obviously, the good old faithful boys, the Beastie Boys, Looking Down the Barrel, their song Looking Down the Barrel of a Gun. Son of a gun. And actually the remix with DJ Mo Love's remix is actually really good. There's a couple, if you go on Spotify, there's a couple remixes to this song. The original's great, but the Beastie Boys Looking Down the Barrel of a Gun, DJ Mo Love remix is really good. It's so epic, and it's the Beastie Boys, and the Beastie Boys are the original alternative hip hop artists. So I think that obviously their videos are crazy. That and Sabotage, the song Sabotage, obviously that video is nuts and one of my favorite songs. If you've seen Star Trek, the first remake, the one with Chris Pine, it's the scene where he's young and he's driving the car, and that's, I think, the most iconic version of when the song is playing in the background, Sabotage, and he stole his like stepdad's car. So that's the song Sabotage. So watch that video, listen to the Beastie Boys, they're great. Blah blah blah. And then the Fugees specific song, Silence, that song. That's a great song. That whole album, the score, is one of the best albums ever. And just listen to that. That was when albums were albums. So I suggest you listen to that album straight through, because it's such a beautiful It's and supposedly my boy told me, which makes sense because there's a lot of movie references in it. It's supposed to be like, oh, it's like a score of a movie, and I'm like, oh, that makes sense. I'm an idiot all these years later. But just listen to that whole album, the score. Maybe I'll do an episode where I just talk about that album, honestly. But Zalitz, probably saying that wrong. I mispronounce words so much, it's hilarious. But I don't care, that's me. And then, sorry, this is the last one. Dead Prez, hip hop. Dead Prez is a really like underground, they're probably not really underground. People probably know about them, but hip hop. Dead Prez hip hop. Listen to that song. That song will make you feel crazy. And one of the lyrics is, hip hop. I forgot. It's about music making white folks go insane. They're pretty off of the map. They have a lot of great songs. I love hip hop. Propaganda's good, and Mind Sex is really good too. Mind Sex is a more chill song, and it makes you like be like, oh, I'm like a spiritual brother, so a little bit. So hip hop, Dead Prez hip hop, Mind Sex, and Propaganda. Those are good ones. Now this is going to be the new people that actually give me hope for music now. And I'm gonna start out with this. These guys are very they're compared to the Beastie Boys a lot, and it makes sense because they're two white kids that are alternative two white kids that are alternative hip hop artists, Joey Valence and Bray. Their song that is really good and the video that's really good is Kill Bill. So I suggest you just watch that video and listen to that song, and you'll get the vibes of the Beastie Boys. I mean, it's like old school camcorder footage, it looks like, and it's just like manic energy, and they're just two goofball characters, and it's just, they have a great vibe. Their music is great. And I actually saw a video, because I was looking up the song, and then, you know, when you get other videos recommended, there's a guy on YouTube, and he has, I don't remember his name, but he's like, I listened to this album, so you don't have to, you know, when people say that. But so he like listens to the album, and it just like time lapses him listening to one of their albums. And afterwards, he's like, wow, that was a really good album. That's like you and your boy after high school go home and say, let's record an album, and you guys are actually cooking. So he really enjoyed it, and that's the best way to describe it. It's like you and your homies going home after school making an album, but you actually are great rappers, and that's exactly what their music is like. And they're really good, and they have good energy, and they're characters. Once again, we need more characters in this day and age, not more of the same person, more of the same music, more of the same thing. Be yourself, be your personality, and that's what these fellas bring. I also, that was one, and these people, this is the last, this is the end of what I've been listening to. These guys right here, I think they're independent, and I think that's intentional. I don't think that they want to be signed to a record label. At least that's what their lyrics would indicate. Because they don't want to be corrupted or taken over and change into something they're not. So I think they do things pretty much by themselves. So but their just talent is so crazy, and that's Coast Contra, and specifically their song that just came out, Don't Worry. The music video is, let me tell you, I watched that I think twice a day since I saw the video originally. It came out like a month ago. It is so creative. I mean, they don't look like they're playing with a ton of money. It's a hip hop video in the sense that like of the 90s, where it's just their lyrics are crazy, their energy is nuts, and they're a group, they're a rap group, but they have like the camera angles, the energy of the camera movement, and their performances and the staging, the setups are so intentional, and it's a movie. It's a short movie. They have their vision, and they're going through with it. It's like the camera, the video is attached to the song, and like the video might have came out and then the song came out after, maybe. I cannot give these guys accolades enough, and I really like their message. I love the way that they present themselves, and it really is like a throwback to the 90s. And if you know them, you know them, as the saying goes. But Don't Worry, their new song is really good. I recommend you watch it, listen to the music, and then they have another song called Rulers, where they're just sitting around. This came out like 2 months ago. They're just sitting at a table, and it's so epic. And there's no, what I like, because I'm an old man. Listen, I like a girl shaking her ass just like the next guy, but every video has money, women, this and that. It's like, that's, for me, that's not what I look for when I listen to art or listen to music or watch things. I want to see people create a beautiful a story and and I want them to express what's inside of them. So these guys are really doing that. So that's Coast Contra, Don't Worry, one of their songs, their latest song, which watch that video, and then Rulers, which is the next one. That's pretty much all I got today, guys. 26 minutes, we're cooking. I think 26 is probably the amount of minutes I'm going to be on these podcasts. So that looks like that's as much as I could talk without literally passing out from no oxygen to my brain. I love you guys, and I will talk to you guys next week. And just remember, ask yourself, what do you want out of your life? What do you want out of life? And just do it, and don't care what anybody thinks. I know that sounds cliche, but truly sit there with yourself and don't care. Because you know what? You show it to me, I'll be a fan regardless. I know if it's a true expression of yourself, that's what I love. And that's, I would say, the overall arching theme of this episode. If you express yourself and you're honest, it can't be bad. Love you guys.